today we have a very interesting and a very important topic to discuss. It is the direct and the oblique forms of common nouns. Now, what is the direct form? How it usually is. A ladka, a boy, ladke, boys, ladki, girls. That is how they usually occur. But when they are followed by something like a ne or a se, what we call the postpositions or some karak chinna, if they are followed by any of this, then they undergo a change in their form. The meaning does not change. They serve the same purpose, but they look different. How do they look? Ladka ne will become ladke ne. Ladka se will become ladke se. So everything else will remain same, just the form will change. It serves the same purpose, the same meaning. So there are some rules for it. That is what we are going to study. Next, what do we mean by the common nouns? The name itself tells you it is common. It is any boy, it is any girl. In Hindi we call it the jativachak sanya. What is a jati? It is a category. So boy is a category, and what is not a common noun? It is what we call a proper noun in English, and in Hindi what do we call it? We call it a vyaktivachak sanya. What is not a common noun? Ramesh is not a common noun. Ramesh will not change. Whatever you put after Ramesh, ne or se or whatever you put after Ramesh, or take any name, any particular girl, for example Ganga, whatever you put after her, the proper noun or the vyaktivachak sanya will never ever change. Names forever, whether they are the subject or the object, they will remain same. What will change? Only the common nouns, only the jativachak sanya, and these are the four main categories. If you have a male singular form ending with a ki matra, ladka, then it will change to ladke. If it is already ladke, if it is plural, if it is already ladke, instead of saying ladke ko, you will say ladkon ko. The a will become to o, and any female singular word with e will have no change, but any female plural ending with a iya, ladkiya, kid, kiya, cha, viya, when they are followed by a ne or a ko, for example ladkiyan ko, no, we will say ladkiyon ko. That is how they will change. Now this is your main set of rules, but then what about the male singular words which do not end with a a ki matra? For example, what about shatru, or what about vyapari, e or u, or ghar? It does not ra, ta, pa, it does not have an a ki matra. What about them? They all fall in one category. Now similarly, not all of your female singular words are going to end with the e ki matra. What about asha, or what about raat or baat? What do we do about all of them? Again, they all fall into one category. That is what we are going to study today, inshallah. Now this is our first set of rules. Any male singular word ending with a ki matra. Can you tell me some words? Ladka, kutta, basta. What happens to all of them? Drop the a, put a, ladke, kutte, kamare. Now let us see how they look in the sentence form. This is your direct form. Direct means what it usually occurs, and this is your oblique form when it is followed by a ne or ko or se. This is what happens. Ladka bimar pad gaya, the boy. There is just one boy here. It is just male singular. So one boy fell ill. लड़का बीमार पड़ गया, and लड़के ने डॉक्टर से कहा, the same boy, the same one boy. So he went to the doctor and said something. So you see the difference here, the same boy, but here it is ladka, here it is ladke. Now what about male plural words ending with a ki matra? Consider the plural of all the words that you have here. Now I have written down the plural of just these words. Ladka, ladke, kamra, kamre, patta, patte. Now these are the plural forms, the male plural words ending with the a ki matra. Ke, re, te. Now what happens if they are followed by a postposition or they are followed by a case ending? What happens? They change to o ki matra. Instead of ladke, kamre, it becomes ladukon, kamron and patton. And let us see how they look in the sentence form. Ladke beemar pad gaye. Now suppose it is a boys hostel. Instead of just one boy falling ill, now we have 10 boys falling ill, and all of them are going to the doctor and saying something. But then only in the first place you will say ladke. In the second place, even if they are plural, you will say लड़कों ने डॉक्टर से कहा. So you see the difference here. A changes to A, and A, what is already A, that will change to O. What if your word ends with a E ki matra? Aadmi, vyapari or darzi. And what about it ends with a U ki matra? Shatru, guru. Or what if it does not end with any matra at all? It just ends with a consonant, a vyanjan. There is no A, E, U, but it looks like this. Ghar, phal, fool, vriksh, paid. Then what happens? What happens when it is followed by a ne, se or ko? Nothing at all happens. There is no change at all. Now this is the direct form. The word I have chosen here is chor. Now you see what is happening in the first sentence. Ghar mein chor ghus aaya. A thief broke into the house. You see the chor, it is not followed by any ne or say or ke. Chor is your thief. He broke into a house. And next what happened is the oblique form. Why? Because your chor here is followed by a ko. Do you see any change? No change at all. घर में चोर आया, police ने चोर को पकड़ा. So a thief barged into the house, the police caught the thief. That's all. Finished. Now what about the male plural words not ending with a ki matra? What about them? What changes do they have? First let us understand how they look like. So if you see the plural of these words, you will get an idea. Can you tell me what is the plural of ghar or vriksh or phal or fool? There is no change in the basic structure. It is just the same. The plural of ghar is ghar, chor is chor. There is no change at all. Then in a sentence, how will you know if I am saying singular or plural? Look at this. घर में चोर आया, घर में चोर आए. Your verb form is what is going to tell you that there are many chor, probably 3 chor. Now these are the two ways to express the difference between some noun forms which have the similar form. Whether they are singular or plural, they look the same. Now that is their plural. But what happens to them when this plural is followed by a ka or a ko? Then what happens? How does its oblique form look? In its oblique form, they should all end with the o sound. So ghar, gharon. It should all end with the o sound. Now look at this. How do they look in a sentence? Ghar mein 3 chor aaye. 3 men, 3 thieves broke into the house, and what did the police do? The police ne choron ko pakda. This is what happened. The same thing you will see here in ghar. See, the ghar is singular here. It is male and it does not end with the a ki matra. See what is happening? No change at all. Ghar mein. But if there were 4 houses and in all the houses the chor came, that will really be a tragedy. But if you have such a situation, then you will write gharon mein. When we talk about their oblique forms and we say that all the plural words should end with the o sound, then a very important question arises. How do you get the o sound? When your word ends with a consonant, a ra, ka, ta or a da, it is very easy. Just put garon. Finished. You got the sound? Garon. But what is wrong when you have the alphabet? It already carries a matra. it already ends with a matra. It already ends with a O sound. Then how will you add another matra to it? If I put like this, how will you even read this? An alphabet. Here you have tra. The alphabet tra can, or any alphabet can carry only one matra at a time. Putting two matras, which one do you even pronounce? So what do? We write the O as it is. We need an alphabet to give the A, O, E sound. So what do? We actually put the alphabet O. So then you will have Shatru. Now, what about the last one? Admi. Now, write Admi O and try pronouncing it. You will be surprised to see a Y sound coming in between. You will see the sound slowly transitioning into the Y sound. It is like how you have in Tamil, no? If you say Tanga Padakam, you try saying Tanga and Padakam together and you will see the sound. You will see a ip sound transitioning slowly. You will hear that sound. Tanga Padakam. So the same thing you will notice here. Admi yo. You will hear that ya sound. But please remember, you will not have admi yo, you will have admi yo. Again, you will need an alphabet. You will need a ya, a to give you that O sound, because the admi already, the e, me, the e ki matra is already there. The poor thing cannot carry two matras. So what do? Give the same sound but with an alphabet. Now we move on to our female singular words ending with I or E ki matra. Can you tell me some words ending with just I? Jati, Niti, all of them end with just a T, not T. And what about the words which end with a E ki matra? Badi E ki matra, ladki, khidki. And what about sadi? All of them end with a E ki matra. And then whether it is I or E, what happens when they are followed by a ne or a se or a ko? What happens? How does their oblique form look like? There is absolutely no change at all. And now see how these nouns occur in the sentence form. Ladki bimar pad gayi. So now it is a girl. She fell ill. And what did she do? She went to the doctor and she said something. Look at both the forms. You will see that there are no change. Whether it is followed by a ne or without a ne, there is no change. But then what about the plural? What about the plural of all these words? Whether they end with a e or a I, in all the cases their plural will only end with iya, ladkiya. Even if you have the badi e, ladki here, even if it is the badi e ki matra, when the plural comes, it will become choti e ki matra. Ladkiya, khidkiya, jatiya. All of them, their plurals will look like this. But what about the plural, the oblique form? What will happen to them? All the iya will change to iyo. So ladkiya, khidkiya, chaviya will all change to chabiyo, khidkiyo. And look at these sentences. Ladkiya bimar pad gayi, ladkiyon ne. Now this is the same set of girls. From here to here, they all fell ill. They are all going and talking to the doctor. But because of the ne, you see what is happening here. The ladkiyan becomes the ladkiyon. Now let us see what happens to all those female singular noun words which do not end with a I or E, which is not ladki, khidki, which is not any of that. We have taken 3 different examples. One is a female word ending with a ki matra, bhavna, lata, rekha, asha, and one with the u ki matra, vadhu, bahu, all of them with the u ki matra. And the third one, which is ank, it does not have any matra at all. It ends with a vyanjan, like kha, rat, baat, aankh, all of them does not have any matra, does not have any a or e or u sound. Then what happens to them when they are followed by a case ending, when they are followed by an ka, ke, ki? What happens? Nothing happens, no change again. Now what happens to all of their plurals? They will all end with the a sound. Bhavnaye, aankhein, vaduye. Now what about their oblique form? What happens? They all change to the o sound. Vadhu, aankhon, bhavnao. That is how they will sound. Now let us see how they look in a sentence. Bahu bazaar gayi thi, or Bahu bazaar gayi. Bahu is a daughter-in-law. I know it sounds quite incomplete. She has to be somebody's daughter-in-law. Maybe she's Murli, like Murli's daughter-in-law. Murli ki bahu bazaar gayi. The daughter-in-law went to the bazaar or the market. And then what happened there? Bahu ne darzi ko पैसे दिए. Then the bahu gave the money, the paise, to the darji or the tailor. So do you see any change? No. Bahu there, no change, followed by ne. And darzi is a male singular word ending with a e ki matra. Do you see any change there? No change that there also. So darzi ne bahu ko paise diye, you will not see any difference. But here what is happening? If that person is Murli, maybe he has more than one son. That means he has daughters-in-law. So this is what bahu is. It is not daughter-in-law, it is daughters-in-law. All of them, 3 of them or 4 of them, all of them went to the market. And what did they do? All of them gave the money to the darzi. Then bahuein bazar gayi, bahu ne darzi ko paise diye. Now I would just like to add one thing. Whenever you see sentences, look at them totally, look at them in their entirety, because often you will notice very interesting things here. See, bahu bazar gayi. Why did we choose a female? Why did we choose gayi? Because the bahu is a female, she is a woman. Then why are we saying diye here? Diye is what? It is a male plural form. Bahu is the subject, bahu is the one who is doing the work. Bahu here, bahu there. Bahu is the one who is doing the work. She should be the one determining how the your verb looks like. Here it is one female, here it is many female. But what is happening here? Here, why are we putting a male plural word? Why? Because of this ne. Ne completely changes things. When you have a ne there, what happens is that the subject, the one who is doing the work, becomes immaterial. It does not matter who is the one doing the work. If there is a ne, the verb, who will decide the verb? The object will decide the verb. The object paisa is one male. The object paise is plural male. So paise diye, it does not matter who is giving. But if it is paise, it should be diye. It happens only when you see ne. Ne is the only one. Probably this thing you will not see anywhere in the world. Whichever language you see, the subject, the one who is doing the work, they will determine the verb. So this is a very interesting thing. When you see questions, look at it in its entirety. Look at what is happening at each place. Now one last thing before I sign off. What did we say? All the oblique forms should end with an O sound. But then how you get the O sound, that is different in each case. Look at this. Your last alphabet is a consonant, a vyanjan. So all you have to do is put this. This will give you the O sound, aankho. Why? Because it is not carrying any other matra. But look at vadhu. Vadhu is a bride who is going to get married. This already has a O ki matra. How do you even pronounce this? So there is no way to pronounce this. So we have to put an alphabet which will give that sound. So we need a proper alphabet here that will give you the sound vadhu. Now you have seen how the jativachak sanyas or the common noun changes when it is followed by a karak chin. And in the next class, inshallah, we will see what happens to the pronouns, but that is for another day. Till then, you take care. Assalamu alaikum.